Well, welcome back, everybody, or thank you for welcoming us back. I'll put it that way because, as you know, we missed for the very first time since we started these online prayer times with you. It was very first time that we missed was in June, and we had shared with you that this was a high ceremonial time with the solstice, and there was a lot of movement with all of our elders in regards to pilgrimages and sacred fires and ceremonies that were held all over the planet. And in a moment of declaring our need to unify as one nation for this Mother Earth. It is her nation, after all. So I just want to say we felt your prayers join and flow into ours because many of you wrote and let us know you were going to be holding sacred ceremony too, particularly in that moment with the solstice. Some of you lit your fires and candles and altars while we were traveling in Sweden. So thank you, because we certainly felt them there. And it was amazing to be able to go up high in the high country, in the north country of Sweden, and sit with our Sami elders and to be welcomed into their territory from their sacred place. It was wonderful to watch the youth in action that are restoring and reactivating ways that will help the Sami nation and all of this Mother Earth. It was in our heart to be there and stand with them too, because some of the last remaining elders, as Grandmother Helen told us, her father was one of those, was removed out of their homes because mining is now taken over all their territories, and they had to watch those homes torn down. So it's a moment like that all over this planet, and I know all of you are feeling and sensing into it. There's, as the Kogi said, the ending was falling into the beginning in 2026, and it was important to watch the ending as it fell down so we stay informed, but to stay focused on that is breaking through. So when we went to 50 plus, when we went to the meeting of the parliament, which I'm going to let my sister Loretta share more about, as this Mother Earth delegation moved on its ponies and gave voice for this Mother Earth everywhere they go, and bring her message of what she's needing to respond to these times. We are met by those that are waking, and more truly are waking. And then we came back and we had just a very short time, and we left for Colombia. But I would like to put that part of our work in my prayer that I want to offer up to you today. And my grandmother's sister, Luisah, will be joining us a little bit later in the call because these calls are important to all of us. And I know that many of the Mother Earth delegation is holding prayers and gathering behind us in support of what's flowing through us today to come to you. And I just want to make one last announcement, which is, I know you've noticed that we are postponing our gathering in Greenland till June 2023. And there's a reason for that, because this prayer that Uncle holds is so strong, and it was put in motion when he caught the vision of it and made the request for this to go forward, and it started in its motion. And as most prayers are and do, they can kind of reconstruct and change things as they flow in order to meet the need of that prayer. So it's the strongest it can be when it lands, finally lands for us. So in this process, we realized that Uncle had not been back to his own home country to live for about 35 years, I think it is, Uncle. But he goes and comes there all the time. It's his land and his devotion to that sacred territory, the place where he says no war has ever been, is very deep in him. And when you sit with him, you feel it in him with every word, the way he thinks and the way he expresses himself so deeply from his heart. So we wanted to gather together, and we're getting ready to because we've just finished traveling, but we're beginning to put out some notices. Because before he gathered all of us there, we felt he needed to have his own home and his place where his own altar and his sacred drums could sit once again, because he didn't have one there right now. So we wanted to take care of our elder first. And that way, then when he turns around and invites us in, he'll take care of us. And so the reciprocity of life flows for all. So be watching for things on our websites, and we'll put that in the chat so you have it. It'll be both on the Mother Earth Delegation website and the Fountain website and the Center for Sacred Studies website. And if you want to pass it around and put it on your website and everywhere else, please let it flow so abundance can come to take care of the elder of the sacred territory of Greenland, and then we can come and stand there in that sacred way with you, Uncle. And I know you'll share more when your prayer time comes. But I just wanted to bring that up so everybody has it in their awareness. And we thank you for flowing with us in all these diverse ways. And now let me just take a moment to really enter into my prayer today. Creator, Mother, Father, God, I give you great thanks. And just having come back from Colombia, and Mother Earth and all of this creation, she humbled me when she started to send messages from the top of the world, is what I call it, in the La Sierra Nevada of Colombia, where the Mamos, the Kogi Mamos, called us to come and sit with them in a place that has never been touched by the West. I feel so much responsibility for that, Creator. So you guide our steps and our words and our deeds. So we will keep that space protected in its purity, because it's a golden moment and it touches one that way, and it flows down now through us for the messages that they're going to be sending out to, as they say, educate the awakening of this planet and all that live and walk here, to awaken us so we might remember that we are creation, we are part of this creation, and we must begin to remember how sacred it is and begin to put ourselves in service to it, in right relation with it, so that we can connect life with itself once again inside of us, and then therefore we will turn around and do that outside of us as well. That I'm sure of. I thank you, Creator, because in this very moment that was so auspicious, you called these staff, these 8 staff that we've been told needed to come to guide our work on this planet right now, to make sure our steps were in alignment with Mother Earth's plan. They went through 4 years of ceremonial work to awaken themselves with the plan they now carry. And we brought those Mother Earth delegates that will be staff holders. Many of them went with us to the top of the world. Some couldn't leave their countries, but they will receive their staff. They're already in motion towards them. And you told us that some of these staff, they needed to focus on and restore and work with those mother elements of air and water, fire and earth. You told us that some of them were going to be working with restoring that original ritual platform of life. And for me, that meant totally activating the sacred territories and restoring the original caretakers to them. That is the ritual platform for life. So let it be so. You gathered others up and you said these will be to restore the original principles, those original principles that all nations have been given in the original times, so that we know how to hold life and walk with life and cultivate and grow life, cherish life. These were your instructions from the Mamos. And so we received these staff with all the heart, devotion, and humility that such a moment must bring to itself. For we have opened the door to a mystery that we all that are here are all part of. And we're going to walk that mystery together and follow this instruction as the Mamo send it to each of the staff holders so we can be a part of the weaving of this new dawn that has been prophesied for so long. So I sit here on my knees in great humility and awe. For it is a time to rejoice and celebrate, even in the midst of all its challenge. It is a time for us to open our hearts and stand firmly in ourselves. It is a time to look at the truth that is coming into the mirror, a time of reckoning for sure. Can we see this truth? Can we embrace it so it will only lift us higher and open us to your intention and bring about the full manifestation of our authenticity? It is a time that the prophecies have prepared us for, and they are now instructing us in. It is a time. It is a great time of the turning. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you for this beautiful day and the part that we have in it. And now I'd like to offer you up this beautiful message that they prepared for us and sent as our first message to deliver to the world, with some of this instruction about educating the awakening and what these sacred staff are to them and to us.
Chino Cane, a Hacha in Grecha. In Grecha Islam. A Wahad the Hadekana and Hadekina. No, that's not a permanent one. Could work with in quite work with Chuck. Ace in Nam. Hey, ya Hachi Oha. Yeah, I Oha Haye Oha Zay Oha Zay to work. أصلاً خرجوا كبنكنو خهني هني مليت أخنا غنقدر خنشان هني عايشيت خاش هي خيتي إسلام هذا خشنو خنقول خقوقنا قاعدين جت Hanya kagak bahaya, ada nanti aku kagak koin. Sini hanya nomor kotak, ada sini hanya nomor kotak, ada sini hanya nomor kotak ni. Ya, ayah bangga nampak. Nampak ayah ichuan aku je. Orang tak kena bakanan kaki. Enam kamai agak sah. Enam kajo, enam agak koi dari te. Bukan aja tu kan te cuy. Nak baca hayat te nak. Eki akan dega cegana hayat te nak. Jadi nanggu. Eki akan dega cegana koi dah te. Nama aku pangku. Ay nama eki kan nama. Ujika ba akan dega cegana. Nama tak koi nama kiri je. Nama koi. Ay koi gini koi te nak kana. Angaangaq itu ba. Ay na dola sa panko. Akan. Kaya engkau cina bukan. Engkau cina bukan ke Afrika. Ay ini ya ay sini. Ini namanya sekolah saya ni. Ini negatif pasang kanaki. Jadi engkau bahasa ni na bukan. Kung kana abang ni ko nak sagutin ka. Ay ko na nahang. Kutugan kana inzay nazhay aduna nazgabang ka. O totin ko nakasabang ki Amerika siya. Inki ay ko naksan ko Shawnee.
I'm just going to sit for just 1 minute and allow everyone to just absorb the gift that's being given to every single one of us in this moment and that action. Thank you. Loretta, I'm hoping that you can share more about some very auspicious moments that are happening, and maybe we can all just see it happening in our mind and our hearts and our whole being, so it will be that way. So would you offer us your message and prayer today, Loretta?
I thank you very much, sister, for giving me this opportunity, and I thank all that have joined us today to listen to the messages that we bring from all over. It's been our honor and our privilege to sit with the Sami people way to the north, and also to meet some of the religious orders of people that we had the occasion to sit with at the table in Sweden. And so I would love to share a little bit of the message that I as I sat at the table with the religious people and with some of the people who work in the political part of their system. We shared a table, we shared food, prayers, and out of that, I felt called after there were interactions going on between Charles Kamara, who is in attendance to some of the Cardinal Andre Arborelius. And within that context, we had available to us a wonderful young woman, sister that we made, Aneta, and she waited on us hand and foot and made sure everything was in the right flow, and took time to spend her days with us. And it was a very powerful exchange of information and ideas. So one of the things that happened, all of a sudden we had the proclamation that we had all been working with each other and putting out thoughts and words and phrases that meant something of great importance spiritually, as well as physically, mentally, and we had the opportunity to take and read the proclamation that was authored by one of our own capable scholars, Steve Newcomb. And it has been Steve's life's work to bring the truth of the documents that the Vatican, the Church Vatican, the country, that little tiny country there that holds sway over so many peoples of the world. And so there came a moment in the exchange of information, and I was able to read that proclamation. And thank you, Sister Tutu, for bringing that up today. I got your message as you spoke it, and I was happy to be able to provide that reading of that. I don't think that we can read it enough times. I don't think that no matter how often we read it, I think it carries that holiness of the thoughts and prayers in our intelligence spiritually and physically into that document that Steve so lovingly put together for us. So as often as you can, those of you who have access to that proclamation, it is a prayer. It reads very well as a prayer, and you can feel the power of it as you're reading the words that have been put to it. I think it's a living document. It's a very highly spiritual living document that I think we all should have a copy of that to read it in the mornings or before you go to bed, sometime in your day. I think it's a very big guidance tool. And I would like to say and acknowledge Steve Newcomb for the amount of thought, the precious feelings of his intellect into writing that document. And there were very many others over the course of these years that spoke to that issue about the papal bulls and how damaging they were and still are today in the world. So as we sat there and visited with Cardinal Arborelius, he had a distinct twinkle in his eyes, and for the first time I saw his countenance in a different light. It was very warm and giving, and we were able to receive some indication that some very powerful movements are going to happen with the Vatican and Pope Francis. And so as we listen to it, we've been dealing in these formal issues for very hundreds of years. And we have made many countless trips, so too many to count, to have audiences with the Pope, and very many of the peoples of the different nations have been there to address the Pope, or the various popes over the course of these years. And so perhaps something tweaked the ears and eyes and minds of Pope Francis. I would really love to ask you all to pray for the First Nations of Canada, who are going to be hosting Pope Francis here in Canada at Quebec City on July 28th. And I have been working to see if we could have one of our delegates to attend the service or the meeting or the things that they're building up around that. But it's a very long process that has happened. And so the people that are in charge, if you will, the delegates are offering 1 hour, I guess, are being offered 1 hour to speak to Pope Francis and to the people that they'll be meeting with. And our beloved clan mother, Louise, informed me in the last couple of days that the Confederacy chiefs, the Iroquois Confederacy chiefs, and the clan mothers are only being given a 10-minute time frame within that 1 hour that they're allowing. And yesterday I had the opportunity to go into Canada, and we've been going back and forth between our reservation here and over to the other reservation in Kahnawake below Montreal, and have had some difficulty going back and forth. As it worked out yesterday, we were stopped in basically where the customs people interrogated us for a very long time yesterday. And so we were then told that there are some documents that have to be on file with the customs in order for people, Native people, to go back and forth and so, from our reservation here into Canada. And I suspect it's probably because Pope Francis's visit is fast coming up upon us. And so I think that any people of color will have those kinds of references. And so they gave us a form called Arrive Can, ARRIVECAN, Arrive Can. And what it is a document that we have to go then to get copies of signed paperwork that we have to put on file with the customs in order for us to be able to go back and forth into Canada. So I began to understand that with all of these obstacles that are being put in front of us, that perhaps we have to, as a group, as delegates from Mother Earth Delegation of United Original Peoples, and those of you who are out there joining us for these prayer sessions, that there is a need to pray about truth and justice. There is a need to talk about what are those freedoms that they're still trying to take away from us as people. And for the time being, for the here and the now, I would like to ask each of you to, if you can have access to the proclamation that we hand carried with us to Sweden and to other places, that you would get a copy of that document so that you can follow that prayer and how that it was received by the ones that we intended for them to receive it, and perhaps to soften their hearts so that when they hear the words of the First Peoples and the First Nations in Canada, that they truly will hear their words. That what my mother talks about when she was alive, she said, we have to have courage in order for us to find justice that we need. because if we don't have courage, we won't find justice. If we don't have justice, we're not going to find freedom. And if we can't find freedom, then we don't have peace. Those were the words of my grandmother Beatrice Long Visitor Holy Dance. So I want to share them with you today. And then I want to say that all is not lost yet, and until we, each of us, lay down to sleep the endless, beautiful dream sleep that will come upon each and every one of us at a time in our lives. We're going to continue to try to promote peace and to try to send love in honor and respect to all that walk on this earth, and that we are here not to harm anything. We are here to get along and to share the spirit of generosity. And as long as each and every one of us have the time to sit together and to love each other, maybe have differences, but have love and to cherish each other in the time that we have, I think that there's much hope. There's very much hope in the world. So I want to send that message out to each and every one of you. And we love each and every one of you, sight unseen. That's how it has to be in the world in which we live. We live great distances from each other. So we want to honor you that way. I'm going to offer a short little prayer. Thank you for hearing my words. I touch each of your faces as I go into this time in this prayer. Hoya te wakantangahe che tumbashila tukahea haricha tapi hoshwa eche no pichifumpie ho wo pre eche no pichifumpie ho oyate umpithawa pikine chitka umpiglohoni pi wa prekilel head tumbashila woni chakapi chuhan na tumbashila eche doctor na wachu yampi na doctor na ilagu yampi na Moye chilapan pichilosh dipter iwachinche. Ichi o aprekilel heche. Dakutona bashila heche. Near el ichum pompikilanat bashila awa jakia he o. Pichiosh de pimpitio campie. Lelijala shinka betu monu kilana el. Na hepium pishti mopikilana el ekash. El umpichi umpie. Hatia topat bashila heche. Chaji chiatapi, wiochata, waziata, wiohiampata, itokafata, the no ochichakapi, the no tratuye hechel umpetu, iohi, unia umpitaki umpiklustapi, to umpikapitan tropatakia, onaha ucheke wa yuhamaunipi, wopi jumpte, unhab unchipi, compassion, whatever control, goni chakapi. Delijala shin crown betu moni kilana elunchi hechel on betu amauni pi. O you hechel wachuyampi. Etat bashila nion poyampi. Olena nieni tawaki hena el bashila ushumakapi. Ona hena hechitukte. Ona dagdona makasi domnia. Many wajak wakata. O hecha mako unashpe ayanke hena. Wakayaja. We are nawichasha. Ona wakon kilana bashila. Hena ekash. Dona bashila hechel. Okujativ itima hefpapi. Which was on which have booked. Was a fapecha ilasa tampapi. Tiu bawuchachi lokunte. Tiwa ake tibu. Ti daku wonchaki la fakte. Ye chakchi tumbashila hechel. Victor tagna ok pani nojippi. Hena so we chachi chair. Ohena tumbashila work it humpa. Doctor na ok pani pihechi hena which have booked. Olena umponi jakapi. A cre tumbashila hechel. Betu lutawe mie chaeche oshia hoye chiche. Lenae chitukte, olenae chitukte, ushil makapie, ushil makapie, ushil makapie. Ho mitakuye oyasi, all my relations. Popila.
Thank you, Sister Loretta. And I think what I would like to do is we're getting ready to flow into Etincelle. She's one of our Bwiti elders out of Gabon, Africa, and she's offering a ceremony from there. in order to really pray to the sun. So let us offer that prayer right behind what your prayer has been, because when we unify these prayers, they only get stronger.
Tara angayo me yambu sande ne bar nana ngayo me komboro pambe ka na ene mo tuwa se wona me na tum bamba me tso wona mana ndia na yo ati manga jayo na manga so kunso ete ba yo me kan sel bidin woni ene mo tuwa ve wona ma na tu be so ba su wona ma tel ba me tel ba na karpan na ibala mbaba mo emuji akal na emuji ona mo ndozo ndozo mbo batwan ndozo non ya ndozo wembi baya no tuban nga su tuban no lumele aluni edidi bonto na baya no nyongo abal baya no bo akale si zeni na abal dia wuye ti zeni ede ndozo wo bele fesiye fesiye de ne banye ba ko ezabda yene lo gan ba bal dia gan ba man dia ede bi yan mora mori sini ase ki changer ase ki asangle zamete ona ede ba tona yi yala na sam muzi akala zamba ye ko muzi na ede ga yifuna bini ya ba de yene na kuya yale tona Darasa kulumbe engongole azame nanangome ni kumiyene ye darasa za kulumbe mbora bulibani ni mbora ba kumiyene ye engongole mwanzambio kombe obilaga kudinganga kombe obilaga kudinganga kombe akombeza ona ede mutu nimbe mite mukulumbe yezo mukulumbe yozi mukulu yamazim mukulu yamfon ona mukulu di mbe yenyinga dembe kaman ona ede maluya mina basutana yeye no do yeye no belenne mombo akalna zamete eye mo wulu na mo mana don ne mi mana won basi ni mako nganga bukai ai ni mako nganga bukai ai o simatambe wona sabana zamai masala ki bukaye hai wenye
Oh, that felt good inside of me. I hope you felt it as well. These prayers, as they move, are like a river gathering more of its potential that's to flow to you today and be good medicine for yourself, your community, your life, your peoples, however you might need to use and work with this beautiful flowing prayer. So, with that, I get to introduce our Call You Out Uncle. Last time we were sitting together in person in Colombia, sharing good Colombian coffee. So could you bring us your message for the day?
Grandmother Jyoti, you have no idea how much I enjoyed a cup of coffee together. We are the young elders, Gurukindi and Mindahi and the others who are with us, and the young ones who work for the fountain. When I came home after long travel, my old son, the first thing he asked me, where is my coffee from Colombia? I was so disappointed in myself. My only excuse was that I did not see a store. So, but besides that, I'm so happy that I went to the Koki land. I think I told you that some 35 years ago or so, I met a great grandfather, Mamos of Kogi, who came to visit grandfather William Commander of the Algonquin people in northwestern Quebec. So he called me up and said, Uncle, could you come and help me? So I did. So I took him to Quebec City and Montreal and Ottawa with grandfather Commander. I made a promise to him that I would come and visit his family. Now I have done that 35 years later. So I'm really grateful to Mother Earth Delegation that I was part of it, so I could fulfill my promise. And to be with my family or the Kogi is an experience I never had anywhere else on earth. Because they, like my people, never had war. And the amazing land they take care of on behalf of every one of us is so stunningly amazing. So it was just a privilege, and I'm so grateful. Now that tomorrow I will start to travel again, and I'll be on my way home to look at myself on my land. I can only be there for a little bit because I had to receive the delegation from Mother Earth Delegation who will look at the land where we will have a gathering, and I want to show them the entire land. So I want to take them to our beloved grandmother's teepee place. I want to sit down with them and have a talk with my grandmother. I want to take them to the sacred fireplace, which my government paid for creating in honor of my grandmother. And I want to take them to the sacred side where the Center for Healing will be built, so they can see what it is that I do, not just for my people, but for the indigenous world and the rest of the world at large. Because as you know, things are happening pretty fast everywhere where things are going wrong. And I realized that us, the Native people, our land will become the land of refugees. People will escape the bad places. And the only way they can escape it is coming to our territories. And I want to be prepared to be able to welcome them. Because I know how difficult it has been for us. I don't want them to go through what we have gone through for so many hundreds of years. I want them to I want them to feel that they're welcome in our land. So I have much work to do. So my message to the world is, I feel like that we failed ourselves in our evolution spiritually. Materially, we have developed enormously. I remember walking around in skin clothes only. Now I walk with the fancy shirts and fancy pants and fancy shoes. So things have happened so fast. I even have glasses now. So we have developed a lot, which is the physical wing of man, the right side of the body, whereas the left side of the body, the close to the heart, is the spiritual wing of man. And somehow, somewhere along the line, all of us, including myself, we got lost in strengthening that part of us. And because we failed to self, we failed all of us. And now we're back into the world in which things are not doing good. All over North America, you can feel it. All over Europe, you can feel it. And the rest of the world. My prayer goes out to every one of us that one day we can stand spreading our wings out equally strong, so we all can lift to new height within us we never knew we could reach, like an eagle, like a condor. That's my prayer for all of us. Oh.
No. Thank you for your words, Uncle. They always touch me so, so deeply. And I can see myself standing on that beautiful part of the earth where no war has ever been. And it will come sooner than we realize. So I'm going to remind everybody right now that you can go to our all of our websites, Mother Earth Delegation website and the Fountain. There's some buttons for just Greenland, and there are other buttons for just the donations that will keep all of this in motion, because everything will be, as you know, we're in motion a lot with a lot of different things that the Mother Earth is calling upon us to do. So whatever support you can offer is part of your prayer offering. And if your love and prayers and lighting your candles is that part of that offering, that is very significant and valued to us. All ways of currency will help the unified river flow more easily. And I mean currency on all the different levels of value of your prayers, of your own actions in your own communities, of resources, of collaborating partnerships and alliances. All these things are what the weaving will bring. So with that said, I wanted to see if Tutu, I always love it when you offer from that beautiful island there in the Hawaiian Islands. So if you would bring your prayer forward for us and weave it in here, I would be so appreciative. Tutu? Uh-oh, she was having trouble with her. Ah, there she is. You're muted, though. You're muted, Tutu.
Okay.
There.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much, Uncle and Jyoti. It's, there's a saying, if you can count the amount of times that you pray, you're not praying enough. So it's such an honor. And a privilege to be able to offer prayer. Look forward to greeting you all here one day and sharing the fragrances and the beauty of our island for your healing. The meditation that I'm feeling from everyone today is to acknowledge our beautiful Mother Earth. When Creator created the Honua, the earth for us, he says that what goes forth from his mouth never comes back. And he created it for us to have a beautiful home and to enjoy life in its fullest. So here we have our Mother Earth, and I'd like to offer this prayer to Creator to hear this prayer with gratitude and with appreciation and with humility. E kia ko ola e ho'olohe e I ka mako pule a ko kua mai. Beloved Mother, Honua,
So Tutu, it's
we send you, Father, we send you the names of our Kogi brothers and sisters, our Kogi mamos in Colombia, at the top of the world, to hear their beautiful songs for you. We thank you for hearing the songs and the poems of our tree sisters and the language that Steve Newcomb composed so beautifully, a prayer for us to enrich our lives, to keep us mindful, and to lift up the needs of our brothers and sisters throughout the world. We thank you for Jarmbi, for opening up our session with the sounds of heaven, just trembling our insides, our na'au, our intestines, with the vibration of his prayer, with the music of the Australian people. Beautiful, beautiful didgeridoo. Mahalo. Uncle's words and his tears are always touching to our hearts. Thank you for hearing his song, Creator. Mother Earth, thank you for hearing us. We hear you as you dance with the extreme temperatures of the planet and extend the fires of life and ceremony onto the planet. We hear you burning. We hear you erupting. We see your hips move the planet in vibration. We taste the sea that you bathe us in, that you hold the creation of life within it. We feel you, Mother, Mama. We hear you and we see you, and we thank you. We thank you for allowing us to enjoy your beauty and your blessings every day. So please hear our songs, hear our poems, that we are standing up for you. Malama ika aina, ame na aina malama kako. Very, very precious proverb from your Hawaiian people. You take care of the land, Malama. The land will take care of you. So as we send the fragrance of the many flowers sitting here with you today, from all over the planet, 68 of us here. We are joined in a lei from different places, with different cultures, with different circumstances. As Uncle says, he puts on his nice pants now. We come dressed in different robes. But this lei that we are offering you, Mama, Mama Honua, our beloved Mother Earth, please receive it. As we send our scents and our fragrances from around the world with our unique flowers, like a garden full of many different blossoms, many differences, we send you this lei of unity from the original nations as a song to brighten your ears, to stir your heart for our pledge and our faith to stand up for you and our children in the future. We love you so much. We love our planet. We love the people that walk on her carpets throughout the planet. We love you, Creator. Thank you so much for loving us and hearing our prayer today. Even the unuttered words of our hearts do you receive. And we are so grateful for that. When it's so painful, we can't even put our thoughts, our dreams, our mission, our vision into words. You take them from us and you receive them into your heart and you hear us. So thank you, Papa. Thank you for hearing us today. Thank you for accepting our lei of aloha. Thank you for inhaling the fragrance of our beauty. In your Son's holy name, it is done. It is done. It is done. Amen. Thank you.
That's God dancing or calling one. Thank you for that beautiful prayer, Tutu. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good medicine for us all. So, Shawna, I have a feeling you might have caught something, a message, something that's going to inspire us all. So, could you bring it to us, please?
Thank you, Grandma Jyoti. Yes, I do have a message and actually kind of several messages, but I just want to first say how happy I am to see all of you. We weren't together in circle last month, but it's good to be together again and reaching out to all of you joining us. I want to honor the ancestors and the elders in our free and independent existence from time immemorial. Thank you to all of the delegates for your beautiful prayers and all of your work that you're doing out there. And today I will share a short message. It's from the ancestors. And I'll say a little bit about my own spiritual path. And I just really want to honor that today. It's this time of great awakening and that beautiful prayer in the beginning from the Mama, the Kogi, just really talking about this time. And that's been part of my spiritual path too, is receiving messages about walking in the time of the great shift. And it wasn't always easy for me as a child. I had a lot of profound dreams, and many of you may relate to this, but I didn't understand and I was scared. I had visitations from spirit and then later these messages, but it really was me learning to honor my path as a healer, as a medium, as somebody that does spiritual work in the world. And as I slowly got the courage to say yes, 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 little baby steps along the way, I just see the synchronicities and the beautiful connections that come, and how spirit really is guiding us and the ancestors really are celebrating us. And so I just want to encourage all of you out there in your own spiritual path and your purpose and honoring your gifts. For far too long, the gifts of our elders and our ancestors have been shunned or vilified. People have been labeled crazy for having spiritual gifts or messages or visions, and these are things that need to be changed. I had a really beautiful experience being able to facilitate a workshop with an elder at a really amazing global festival several years ago. And I asked the question, how many of you experience profound spiritual experiences or mystic experiences and maybe dreams or messages. And everybody there, over 40, 50 people raised their hands. But then when I said, how many of you tell anybody about it? Nobody raised their hand. Or maybe one person said, kinda. And so this was really profound to me, because I thought, why is it so secret? Why is it that we don't just say, this is part of the awakening, this is part of what we're experiencing? It doesn't need to be a secret. It doesn't need to be something that we keep hidden away and we hide. It's to be celebrated. And so in these times, that's what I kind of teach and want to honor for people, because I feel like these are the gifts that we've had all along, and they were taken from us and we were silenced. And these are the very things that bring healing and transformation for the planet now more than ever that's needed. And so I just want to say thank you to all of you for being here with us. And I'll share my short message with you from the ancestors. And and another thing I remembered was how this woman came up to me, or many times as I shared these messages, people would come up to me and they'd say, kind of like in secret, oh, I just want you to know, thank you so much for sharing your messages, because I get messages too, but I don't tell anyone. So I just feel like the more we start to tell everyone and tell each other, I know within reason, because not everybody understands, but it's beautiful, and we all start to awaken even more. And I feel like it's like a big quilt that we're all weaving together with messages that are really amazing. And I love that it brought me here to the delegate circle and to all of you connecting. So thank you. So here's this message that I received, and it's interesting. I just was taking a walk, and I was helping to bring some guidance to an elder, but it also became more like a universal message. So he agreed that it's okay to share, and I'm happy to do that. And it really is, I believe, from ancestors. So we are so pleased to see you're walking in this good way and bringing back the old ceremonies. This is needed and important at this time. There are those that walk in fear and do not understand the power and the beauty of this good connection. For when it is done in a sacred way, all will be well. A great healing and honoring can take place. The ancestors will be honored, the ways of the people, the sacred prayers, the connection to the land. All that has been lost can now be found once again in the sacred old ways. Know that your heart is in a good place. Purify yourself in your space. Ask for guidance from the ancestors. We are here with you always in your dreams, and each time you think of us, we hold you in sacred regard. We hold you as a carrier of the knowledge needed by the people, for the families, for those crossing over, for the young people, for all those in a place of grief and fear, for those people who have lost their way. A great healing will take place now. Let it be so. We hold you in sacred regard. We are with you, walking with you in prayer. Thank you. Wanishi, that's my prayer, and thank you. Just celebrating all of you, sending lots of blessings.
Oh, thank you, Shawna. I always leave these calls after our time together with everybody. Feels like we're sitting around the fire and we're all gathered, and inspiration is flowing through each and every one of us. And I can feel it flowing through those that we can't see that are circled up at this prayer fire with us. And one of those people is Randy Laysback. And he's not able to join us today, but he sent a message to us, which I asked permission to read. This weekend, I'm making a trip around the Black Hills and stopping in areas that the Lakota consider special place, sacred place, and offer up a prayer to the Creator. Angakkorsuaq Reservoir, a place the Sioux comes into from their winter camp before pushing into the Black Hills. Long ago, that dam wasn't there. It's a current man-made dam. And then I'm going on to Fort Robinson, where Red Cloud surrendered and Crazy Horse passed away. And next would be the Beaver Creek, right across Four Corners, Wyoming, deep in the Black Hills, where Crazy Horse considered his place and buried his warriors there. After that, Bear Lodge, Devil's Tower, they call it, where Sioux and allies come together for prayer gatherings. And lastly, back to Bear Butte to take a walk up to a place where a circle is made and offer my final prayer. It will be a weekend journey. So I won't be able to join the prayer call, but I will remember you all in my journey along the Black Hills, and most of all, in my prayers. So if you just take a moment, you can feel Randy in the sacred site he may be standing in right now, offering this prayer with us, for us. So I just want to take a moment and allow that merging of prayers. Thank you. Jarmbi, I know that Tutu put this in her prayer, what a holy moment we had just as right before we were going live, when you were working with and letting your didgeridoo bring your prayer flow right into all of us before we got online. So may I open your new day with you offering your message and whatever else may want to flow.
Yeah. Hello to everybody. Hope everybody's well and life's good. We're in this country at the moment where there's a few of us, a few of the tribes coming together to talk about the healing that needs to happen in our people, something that hasn't really been done. We've spent a long time fighting the government and fighting the system, but not really doing what we need to in order to take back our power, take back our empowerment and our sovereignty. So through the healing of ourselves, we understand that we can take back the control, I suppose, or the responsibilities of the past, take them into the future. There's a big gathering in the centre of Australia. We're hoping that at the end of it, we'll have come to a place where we can open dialogue for real around what's called Wirichin, which is blackfella and whitefella dreaming together. And yeah, I'll be making that journey myself in the next few days. Looking forward to seeing where the other tribes are at. And I know that everybody that I know that's of good heart and have been able to make that journey are already on their way. So there's one sure way to beat the system is to remove yourself from it and remove the chains that they hold you with. That's what we intend to do. So my message, as I've always had for everybody, is in the healing of yourself and in the reconnection of your blood to earth and to the God of all things. Where we find our truth. And then let your people show you their way. But don't forget, you've been created for this time, this moment. Whether you receive messages, whether you're driven to do good things from your truth, to light candles, to have moments of prayer, to connect with the waters. These things are sacred things. So I'm going to play We'll play the dig for a little bit. Miles, put a little bit of intention to feeling your blood and your ancestral fires. Have a beautiful day.
You just you're bringing the sun up over there. It's the beginning of your day. So thank you very much for touching ours wherever we might be sitting as the sun is moved around this beautiful planet today. Mindahi, I would like to see if you could open yourself on screen and offer us your wisdom and your prayers tonight, today, the middle of the day, whatever time of day it is for you there in Mexico.
Kamadi, Greetings, brothers and sisters. It's a great pleasure to be in this beautiful circle, in this beautiful place, in this time and space, and we are here today. Na yoho yu. Thank you, Great Spirit, for allowing us to be here today as we are walking this unification process. The story is unfolding, and we are here as human beings, remembering that we are here just for a while, and that we are the youngest in the creation, and that we are not the peak of the creation. We are just another species. And the human species, we have come to an understanding that we must love life and Mother Earth that give us all the warmth, all the food, all the feelings and all the colors that we can see and feel. So we can act together in this unification process to take care about life, take care, give care around all our relations. We are witnessing today difficult times, and we ask the Creator for the understanding how we can bring ancestral wisdom together with science, but not whatever science that also cares for life. Because we have a lot of information, we have knowledge, but we need wisdom to carry out meaningful decisions. How to behave in front of life, how to behave in front of the stars, the celestial bodies that also give us directions how to live in peace and harmony with Mother Earth. So we can strengthen our communities, our families, we can strengthen our territories. In many places around the world, Mother Earth is suffering. In general, Mother Earth is crying because of mining, because of clear cuts, because of taking over, because of extraction of fossil fuels. We cannot continue living in this way. The pandemic, the corona, is teaching us that we are just another species, that we are very, we need to be humble, that we are very affected. But small and tiny things, small and tiny living entities that are telling us to live in peace and harmony with all beings, and to remember who we are as human beings. And also we can see that there is still joy in children, in the young, in the elders, for life. And now you can see that we have kept original nations and peoples, the original covenant for the care of life. And that's the reason we are still here in this world, giving care of the most beautiful jungles and forests, the deserts, where the biocultural heritage is still strong. The biocultural heritage is still with us. But this is not just our responsibility. It's everybody's responsibility. If we want to transcend, if we want to continue living this place, in this beautiful planet that we call Mother Earth, we need to come together and work together. Feel together, and also bring together our talents, our responsibilities, so we can learn from each other. This is today a call for action, because the climate crisis is being felt day by day. The ice is not just melting. The ice is bringing so much problems to the seas. Many communities are going to be gone forever. And we need to be reliable about what is coming. We don't want just to be in the sense of mitigation and adaptation, but we want the good living paradigm. And that's the reason ancestral wisdom is meaningful for the care of life. The time is now, so we can come together as brothers and sisters. We can be here in this world for the care of life. Thank you.
Thank you, Mindahi. That was very clear and very strong, and it is a call to action. So thank you for really underscoring. I know that as we've been traveling so much with so many elders in so many parts of this planet in the last few months, and everybody is telling us there's a big moment that we're approaching. It's getting very close, and we must start to move into the boats that are built on those original principles and are following and listening to Mother Earth and her wisdom that comes to us through our original people. So that's her blessing to us. The original people are sitting here at the world table, and they can see each of the parts of the puzzle of that new dawn coming to be there, and they know how to bring it all together and weave that tapestry if we will but just listen. So with that in mind, I want to say that as we weave our prayers together, my sister Loretta wanted to be sure that on the 28th of July, that's when the Pope will be coming to Canada and to meet with the First Nation peoples there. And the First Peoples is probably the better way to speak about that. The original peoples, the First Peoples, will be meeting with him to rescind these papal bulls, to acknowledge the seed, this bad seed got planted, to recognize that moment and everything that flowed out of it that cut us from our source of creation, so that it can begin to be restored and healed, so we can walk into the new dawn, unified, all nations. I want to recognize Jinky, who is one of our elders in Australia. She was going to be on here tonight because she's one of the staff holders, and she stands with the dream weaving motion that happens on this planet and so much more. And she wasn't able to join us after all. So I just want to take a moment to recognize the different places that are holding prayer with us as we unite today. And we've just received a message from the Mamos, the Kogi Mamos. And Eleanor, I think you're going to present it to us. And hopefully they even sent a video. This is all happened since we got on with you. So they are paying attention to what we are sharing with the world. And I'm so humbled that they sent us even more to cherish. So, Eleonora.
Yes, thank you, Jyoti. So just as we speak, Jinky is also coming in. So she's asking if we're still on. So if you want to message her, maybe she can come in after this.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
She must have heard me speaking.
Yes. So the mammals of the top of the world are down in Tungeka. Tungeka is the town that is on the skirts of the mountain. And Jacinto this morning messaged me, and well, we have a message from them. They sent us a beautiful song, a song for from the origin of the oceans, of the waters. And then we have a message in a video from them. And after that, I will do the translation of that. So Mary-Jane, if you want to put down the song first, thank you.
Eleanor, I don't have the song. Sorry.
You don't have the song? Well, I
Have the
sent it
song.
to the audio. Put
No,
the audio.
I don't have the audio. I have only the video.
No, I sent you both. So Audrey, do you have the audio?
Here, let me see if I can get it to get over to her.
Okay.
I thought it was all on the one. I thought it was all on the one.
So our sacred technology meets our sacred technology. And so it requires that we have patience and take a moment. And I see Luisah has also just joined us. I can't wait to hear from you in just a moment.
I could share it on my phone, but I don't know if it's going to be the best quality.
It would
sound.
be the same for Eleanor. It'd be the same for me at this point, just because it didn't transfer over and won't transfer into my photos, I don't think.
So go ahead and use your, oh, you're on your phone though, aren't you?
Yeah. So, okay, just put the video on then.
Okay.
In the meantime, maybe you can try to send the tune a different way.
Yeah,
and we'll watch the video. Thank you all for your patience. Margine, can you play the video? Thank you.
So I will do the translation of what Mamo, one of the Mamos, is sharing in this video. So this translation was sent in Spanish to me from Jacinto, and now we're going to do it in English. So Mamo here is sharing that they are in front of Tungeka town at that moment, and they are standing in front of a sacred place there that is connected with all the Eswamas, that means with all the sacred places on the earth. And those places are like that rock you see there. And it is like it is like if that rock was the father of the rain, Mamo says. It's in accordance to that. And Mamo is saying that in the past, there were many places like this. But now the little brothers that have arrived on the land there and everywhere, like the farmers they have around this place over there, they have been pulling this place out, disturbing it. And so Mamo is sharing that we need all to help each other in healing these places, the sacred places. And because just like this place, they are sharing with us, this place now is in hands of the farmers and some farmers' land. So it's not well taken care of at the moment. And I hope we can share the chant. I don't know if you have it already, Audrey. The chant, if we are lucky enough to listen to it today, it's a chant that is that was shared since the origin of time. It's a very, very ancient chant, a very ancient song. And as we say here, it says Mamo, that chant, that song was sung all the way back from when Mother Seinang Luga and Father Seyang Ku were the ones, when they were the ones in the origin that were supporting these universes to be birthed into this time. So it's a very, very ancient song, and it would be beautiful if we can listen to it.
Eleanor, I can't get it to they can't get it to move, but let me try to play it. It isn't playing. I'm sorry, Eleanor, it's not playing on any of the devices that I've moved it to.
Okay.
Okay. Eleonora can play it in my.
Oh.
Eleonora can play it in my phone.
Okay, go ahead, please. Louder, please.
Mm. And I got some bird songs also from the top of the world, so that's not bad. So that's Mama's messages for today. Thank you.
What a blessing. So just take a moment now, because the song that they sing reverberates and it awakens thing. It educates your awakening process. So, yay. Welcome, welcome. Grandmother Luisah. Thank you for Ashe, and you're going to do our closing prayer today and then kind of announce that closing video. So I'm so glad you can come and join. It's been a strong prayer today.
And we need strong prayer today. You know, there's two things I want to say. Once in a while, I make the mistake of responding to something on YouTube. and got into a long discussion where I was trying to bring information to some very conservative right-wing people who insist that there is no such thing as oppression or injustice or racism or the overtaking of land or none of that. None of that is reality. And I kept sending them articles. If you really want to know the truth, read this. I'll talk to you again after you are made aware of this, that, and the other. And I came to the conclusion that I had walked into a den of people who are deliberately blind, deliberately ignorant, okay? And we need to be aware that they exist. We need to be aware that they are consciously the antithesis of the prayer that we have for keeping Mother Earth, for respecting Mother Earth, is their insistence upon drilling and logging and so on. Our prayer of relationship between us is theirs of a stance of superiority. So, I went to bed saying, I am so grateful to be somebody who is able to move among people who know that the earth is our mother, who know that we have work to do, and who are willing to learn and change and grow. Okay, I am very, very grateful that my ancestors have put me in a place where I can interact with people who are, in fact, sane. And as long as there are more of us than there are of them, I can keep my optimism in place. So I may have read this before, but I think it's very, very appropriate that after having dealt with them last night, my class that I did, that I came here from, was for Nana Buruku. So I want to read to you something I wrote called Peace Nana. And if you've heard this before, please just bear with me. Ibashe Nana, womb of creation, she who gave birth to all things. From your dark depths the first spark came into being. Your luminous egg exploded in the midst of eternal night. In your joyous dance you formed the great lights. You who gave us sun and moon, earth and sky, body and spirit, awaken from your sleep, deep night. Lift your eyelids and see our plight. The children of earth are in need of your guidance. They await the feel of your hand. They roll their eyes in great suspicion. In anger and fear they strike out. Their hearts are hard. Their hands are trembling. Amidst the rubble of war, they cry out. Hear me, great mother. Hear your daughter. Open your starlit thighs. Draw us back into your vulva. Mix us, stir us, roll and squeeze, mold our heads, pat our behinds. Change us, every cell and spirit, till peace possesses our minds. Blow your perfumed breath upon us. Wash us in the deep blue sea. Suckle us on milk and honey. Oil us with the balm of love. Return us then to this green garden, O beautiful, generous mother. But this time, give us also the wisdom to see your reflection in each other. I pray for the evolution of the human being.
Mm. Thank you so much. That's a pray for the evolution of the human being. Let it be so.
May it be
And you
so.
know what happened? Jinky came in right here as we're closing because she might even have a song for us. Certainly, she has a message. So if everybody will be a little patient, then we'll hear from Jinky, and then we'll have that closing video, which I hope will inspire you.
Ashe.
Jinky.
Jinky. Good to see you.
She must have gone to get her guitar. Oh.
Hello.
There you are.
There we are. Good to be here, Mother Earth, delegation, my family, people, Baniawel, Kulada, Yalman Wadi, Kujara, one circle from the ecosystems of the earth. It's really good to be with you. I've missed you all. I've had time to ground and evolve and come into this beautiful time, and I think it's really important for us to keep dreaming and to let all the past go and the pain so we can come into this new time together, celebrating. I came through the peninsula of my people, and I've been feeling really excited and feeling the light, and I spent connecting with a lot of young people, traveling up in the last couple of days, and just saying, how are you, and what are you here for? What do you like doing? And how can we make this happen? I met so much of my cousins, one a marine scientist. I said, great, we need to talk solutions for the oceans. So, but it was a beautiful moment in the peninsula. When the staff comes, I'd like to show the body of work and the rise of the people, of our people and our legacy, which is all our legacies. It's a good time that's here now. I'm going to sing a song when I return to country as the light in a way shower. The country calls you home. Say, I'm coming home, Mom. I'll be the fire stick. I'll be there for the people, the children. Na 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 na. Barefoot people stand on great mother's land. Children of your dreaming, why don't you dance, sing your song? I said, family, you and me sing up this country. Barefoot people, why don't you sit down in your country? Listening to the rhythm of the Mukmor, to bad girl in there. Listening to the rhythm of the Mukmor, listening to your country heritage. Listening to the rhythm of the Mukmor, to bad girl in there. Listen to the rhythm of the Mukmor, Listen to your country heritage. Why don't you sit down in your country? Children of your dreaming, why don't you dance your dance, you sing your song? Barefoot people, or you walk the land of your ancestral clan. With each footstep, oh, remember those who walked this land. Barefoot people, oh, yeah, every day is fishing day. One hand you got your spear, and the other one your fishing line. Listen to the rhythm of the mukmok, listen to the rhythm of the mukmok. Listening to country heritage talk. Listen to the rhythm of the mukmok, listen to you. Listen to your country heritage. Children of your dreaming, why don't you dance your dance, you sing your song? Remember our old people, remember their ways. Remember their stories, we gotta carry it on. Listening to our old people, remember their ways. Listening to their stories, we gotta carry it on, carry it on. Na 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 na
Oh, you are such good medicine for our times. Oh, thank you. And I think we're going to leave it there, Regine, and not play this other video. I think that's the music we want to be left with today.
Ashe.
So blessings to each and every one of you. Thank you, Jinky, for coming in here and just putting that exclamation point on this beautiful statement of prayer. Blessings to you all. Be the peace you've been praying for.
Be the peace. Ashe.
See you next month with love.
Love you, family.
Love you back. Bye.